we have the severe flood, especially in the central of the Chao Phraya near Bangkok.
Depending on the statistics, 70 to 90% of all disasters are water-related. So how to mitigate the water-related disaster is a key to succeed the Sendai Framework for Action and SDGs.
There is sometimes a tendency for a disaster that starts off as a water-related disaster. It can easily evolve into a disaster that is much more complex and that has much wider cross-sectoral impacts if the chain of events is not broken in time. And so resilience really needs to be tackled from that multi-hazard perspective and that multi-sectoral approach.
Every year we experience early flood, cyclones, and we have been able to produce and develop some of the innovative and technology-based solutions for the people. By using these modern technologies, we have been able to reduce the cost and the loss of the human beings and the wells.
I'd like to emphasize some initiatives which we are doing in the Philippines, particularly on the use of satellite-based data for addressing disaster-related risks through an app which we call NOAA. It's an assessment tool for water-related disasters.
The origin of disaster risk in Asia Pacific are often transboundary in nature, whether it is tsunami, cyclone, drought, transboundary floods. Mostly they are transboundary in nature. For transboundary disaster, regional cooperation becomes imperative.
Actually, in Thailand, we not just in-house river basin, but also we have the international river basin that we need some cooperation with neighboring countries. For example, in Mekong river basin, we have to share data information from upstream down to downstream. And also in the south of Thailand, we have to share the water hydrological data with Malaysia in order to help us to make decisions for the water management for the long term and also for the flood management.
In developing countries, usually it is a very problem to collecting actual observed data. So that's why we get the data from a satellite. So we use satellite data and global data from the internet, and we make the models. We need verification of the models. So that's why we collaborate with the government and we ask them to get the data.
The recent trend nowadays is early warning of complex disasters. Disasters which are of very high impact in nature, at the same time becoming more and more frequent. Now what could be the quality of the early warning system? So the one is, it has to be very precise. The second thing, it has to be actionable. Actionable not only for saving lives, but also livelihood, the economic impact. So slowly, the trend of disaster early warning system is moving towards impact-based forecasting, risk-based early warning systems.
We should have taken some initiatives to provide some right information to the right people in right time. And for this, we have to collaborate to each other regionally and sub-regionally.
ESCAP and sub-regional bodies will be a venue for more sharing of experiences and insights on addressing water-related disaster risk. And I hope that there will be greater community involvement in discussing how we address water-related disaster risk in countries.
My vision for the future is much deeper regional cooperation. there is a huge capacity gap in Asia Pacific region as far as disaster early warning system is concerned.
When it hit, how we deal with that, how we respond to that, how we prepare for that, that is still a problem in many countries. So this is the area the ESCAP, the socio-economic matter, kicks in.
So I think cooperation can bring synergistic effects that will be of mutual benefit and that will really ensure that the tremendous progress that countries are making in implementation of the SDGs is not reversed by unforeseen, unpredictable extreme events.